Hi everyone, this is Iradian, and this is finally a video on the effects in Phase Plant. I know it's been like 11 tutorials or whatever, and I still haven't made one. So this is just going to be an overview, because the thing about Phase Plant is there's a lot you can do with the effects, and they're planning on adding in more. If you've heard of Multipass or Snap Heap, those are two of Kilohearts' other plugins, and they use the same effects. So what they're planning on doing, I think, is adding those in there, this big list of effects, and there's a lot of them. I think you can use up to, I think you have unlimited effects. I'm not sure, but I have never hit the limit before. So basically you can add in duplicates of whatever. If you hold down control click, you can copy and paste effects, and you can have 3 effects lanes. So what I've done here is I've routed this square wave into each of the 3 lanes, and they're all going out, so it's like parallel processing. 3 lanes going out to the master, direct out. And it doesn't sound good. I didn't make it to sound good, I just made it to demonstrate what Phase Plant could do. So there's some other things now. I'm gonna solo this one, and we'll see. You can mute the effects in any lane, and then you can solo. Like, I guess I don't need to mute these, but here I've got an ensemble, which is basically a post sort of unison. That's kind of new. And I've got a distortion on afterwards, so it sounds kind of dirty, but what you can do is you can turn on this poly button, and what poly does is it will apply the effects in the lane to each voice that's playing. So if I've got 2 notes playing, if I can play 2 notes, you will notice that it sounds cleaner when the poly is on. And that's because when you've got multiple notes playing into distortion, it ends up making a really dirty signal. I can't get into the really technical details about why that happens, but that's just what happens. So if you turn on poly, that's no longer a problem. Maybe you'll like it, but if you don't like it, you can turn on poly and it'll eliminate the issue, because I can't talk. So at the bottom of each lane, you've got a gain control, which controls the volume going out of the lane. Got a mix, which controls the dry wet basically of each signal after everything's been applied, and you can choose a lane or direct out to send it to. You don't have to have your sound going through lane 1, then 2, then 3. You can have it going through lane 1, then 3, then 2. You could have them all going out like I do. You can have one going directly out, and then lane 2 going into lane 3 and then going out. It's really up to you. Like I said before, Phase Plant lets you do pretty much whatever you want. It's not very strict or closed off what you can do. There's a lot of possibilities is what I'm saying. So that's an overview of how the effects lanes work. I'll be going over some of the effects in the next part. I'm not going to cover them all because there's so many of them. But the thing about the effects in Phase Plant is they are very simple. A lot of people don't like the compressor. I think it's fine, but a lot of people miss OTT. Just use it in post. I'm not sure. They might be making one. That's just a guess, because they've gotten a ton of, like a shit ton of requests for an OTT. I don't know if they'll do it or not, but they're a lot better at listening to feedback than other developers, and so we'll see what happens, I guess. But like I said, these aren't very complicated plugins, or snap-ins they're called. They're pretty easy to understand just by looking at them, although some of them are a bit less obvious. Like take a look at the disperser. If you don't know what the disperser does, it's kind of weird to look at. But like I said, I'm going over the effects in future videos.